people around her, and that's what they're doing here.
I'm a private investigator. I've got some books that super here. Inside I have from the United States District Court.
Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dolton and supervisor of Thorin Township, has become a controversial figure, reminiscent of a reality TV star with her dramatic leadership style. Accusations of financial mismanagement swirl around her, with claims she has misused public funds for luxury trips, designer items, and a costly security detail. Residents are questioning how their tax dollars are being spent, as reports suggest Henyard treats Dolton's budget like a personal ATM, leading to financial instability in the town. Henyard's leadership approach has been described as hostile and authoritarian. Those who challenge her authority reportedly face retaliation, with critics dismissed as engaging in a smear campaign. Tensions have escalated, with Dolton's trustees accusing her of sidestepping proper contract approvals and misusing public resources. Legal investigations, including a federal probe into her financial practices, have been launched. Despite the mounting controversies, Henyard maintains her innocence, asserting that her opponents aim to discredit her. As public frustration grows, some residents have gone so far as to label her America's worst mayor. The situation is intensifying, leaving many to wonder how she continues to hold on to power amid such turmoil. The pressing question remains, how much longer can Henyard weather this political storm before it all comes crashing down?
It's shameful. Y'all are a disgrace.
We're watching the fall of this administration.
Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dolton and the township supervisor, is embroiled in a whirlwind of controversy that resembles the plot of a reality TV show. Her ascent as the town's first female mayor has been anything but smooth, as she juggles two significant leadership roles amid mounting chaos. Expected to manage the town effectively, Henyard instead finds herself at the center of a series of escalating issues that threaten to destabilize Dolton. The controversies surrounding her administration extend beyond minor complaints. Henyard is now entangled in legal battles and facing scrutiny from high-profile investigators. Accusations of misusing public funds for extravagant personal purchases and questionable spending habits have surfaced, all while the town's financial condition deteriorates. Critics describe her leadership style as autocratic, alleging that she retaliates against those who dare to question her authority. Board members attempting to hold her accountable have reportedly faced aggressive pushback, and meetings have devolved into chaos, with her administration accused of operating more like a personal fiefdom than a transparent government. As allegations of lavish spending and mishandling public resources mount, Henyard's leadership is increasingly under scrutiny. Legal probes are deepening and public outrage is growing, casting a shadow over her political future. The ongoing drama has turned Dolton's leadership into a high-stakes spectacle, leaving residents wondering how long she can maintain control amidst the turmoil. Compounding the situation is the contentious relationship between Henyard and the Dolton Board of Trustees. Disputes over budgetary matters and major expenditures have escalated into a power struggle. Recently, tensions reached a breaking point when Henyard attempted to appoint a new village attorney, police chief, and village administrator without consulting the board. By trying to make such significant decisions unilaterally, she bypassed the necessary checks and balances integral to local governance. The Board of Trustees, unwilling to let this go unchallenged, sought legal intervention. A Cook County judge ruled that Henyard's actions were improper, issuing a restraining order to prevent her from making appointments without board approval. This ruling underscored that even though she holds considerable power, she cannot treat the governance of Dolton as her personal playground. The judge's order not only limits her unilateral decision-making, but also highlights the growing divide between Henyard and the trustees, signaling an escalating conflict as the board pushes back against her attempts to centralize authority. In a surprising twist, Henyard has brought in former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot to investigate the financial issues plaguing her administration. This unexpected move comes after the Dolton Village Board raised serious concerns regarding Henyard's handling of public funds, with rumors suggesting millions may be missing from the village's general fund. Lightfoot's involvement has intensified the scrutiny on Henyard as her investigation uncovers troubling signs of financial mismanagement. Among the revelations are allegations of extravagant expenditures and lavish parties that lack clear justification in a town struggling with financial challenges. As the investigation unfolds, the spotlight on Henyard's administration grows ever brighter, deepening the crisis she faces. With Lightfoot leading the inquiry, it remains uncertain just how deep the financial troubles run. Henyard's leadership, already under fire for unapproved appointments and alleged misuse of taxpayer money, now faces an existential threat as financial accountability comes to the forefront. As the drama continues to unfold, The future of Henyard's administration hangs in the balance. Residents are left grappling with the reality that their leadership has devolved into a series of controversies, raising questions about accountability and governance in Dolton. The stakes are high, and the clock is ticking as the community watches to see whether Henyard can regain control or if the mounting pressures will lead to her downfall.
A temporary restraining order blocking her from making those appointments without approval.
Tiffany Henyard's board meetings have gained a reputation for chaos, with some trustees so concerned for their safety that they've chosen to stay away. Once intended for constructive discussions about village matters, these meetings have devolved into shouting matches, with Henyard overpowering any opposition. In one infamous instance, she tried to push through decisions without ensuring enough trustees were present for an official quorum, showcasing a blatant disregard for protocol. When confronted about her actions, Henyard responded defensively, escalating tensions rather than addressing the criticism. These meetings have turned into battlegrounds, with both trustees and community members increasingly frustrated by her authoritarian approach. Her insistence on bypassing standard procedures and dismissing valid concerns raises serious questions about her leadership capabilities and the future direction of Dolton. This disarray within the village's leadership reflects deeper issues of trust, governance, and accountability that could impact the community for years to come.
Make a one-day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon. And the main thing is,
Lori Lightfoot's investigation into Tiffany Henyard's financial practices is uncovering alarming revelations daily, exposing layers of controversy. Among the most shocking findings are reports of luxury purchases, extravagant meals, and a lavish party allegedly costing over $100,000, all while Dolton grapples with mounting debt. Henyard's spending habits suggest a troubling mismanagement, with rumors indicating she racked up significant Amazon purchases in a single day, treating the town's budget as her personal credit card. This reckless spending has outraged residents, who are left to foot the bill for her indulgences instead of seeing efforts to address Dolton's financial woes. Henyard appears more focused on maintaining a lavish lifestyle than on fiscal responsibility, igniting widespread frustration among taxpayers. As the investigation unfolds, distrust continues to grow, with many residents questioning just how deep the financial mismanagement truly runs.
This leads to more questions, and sometimes we don't get answers to those questions, and so it's not about clickbait, it's about just making sure that
Tiffany Henyard's troubles with the Board of Trustees are escalating as they attempt to rein in her unchecked spending. Instead of cooperating, she has met their efforts with outright defiance. When the board sought to pass a resolution for an external investigation into her financial activities, Henyard responded by vetoing it, effectively blocking any chance for independent scrutiny. One would expect someone in her position to want to clear their name, especially with public suspicion mounting, but her actions suggest otherwise, almost as if she's daring the board and the community to challenge her. This bold maneuver has only deepened the rift between her and the trustees, raising eyebrows about what she might be concealing. Meanwhile, Henyard continues to bulldoze through decisions without consulting the board, further complicating Dolton's leadership chaos. Her refusal to cooperate with attempts to investigate her spending casts even more doubt on her administration, leaving residents and officials frustrated and distrustful. The tension between Henyard and the board is now at an all-time high, with no signs of resolution in sight.
I think it's interesting about this case, this story, is you can be highly legal and unethical at the same time.
Tiffany Henyard's actions have escalated from defiance to outright sabotage. In a particularly bold move, she attempted to cut off access to critical village software for her own administrator, Keith Freeman, after he began cooperating with her opponents. This nearly brought village operations to a standstill, plunging Dolton into deeper chaos. Trustees have expressed increasing concern over her behavior, with some alleging that Henyard has threatened to disregard court orders entirely. Attorney Bert Oden, representing the trustees, called her conduct outrageous, accusing her of prioritizing division and personal vendettas over effective governance. Henyard's refusal to adhere to proper channels and her relentless grip on power have created a tense atmosphere in the village, leaving both officials and residents frustrated. Her continuous power plays, including attempts to block access to key resources, exacerbate the disarray within Dolton's government. As she pushes boundaries and ignores legal rulings, many are left wondering how far she's willing to go to maintain control and at what cost to the village's well-being and governance.
Is there a reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for shirts.
Tiffany Henyard's troubles extend beyond the Board of Trustees. Residents of Dolton are equally fed up. During a particularly heated board meeting, A resident shouted that they wouldn't be satisfied until Henyard was out of office. Given Dolton's financial struggles, it's understandable. The community watches in frustration as their mayor indulges in luxury perks and extravagant parties, seemingly oblivious to their problems. This disconnect has fueled anger among residents, who feel their struggles are dismissed in favor of Henyard's lavish lifestyle. Despite the mounting opposition, Henyard has doubled down, even appointing a mayor pro tempore, someone who could take over if she were unable to perform her duties, almost as if preparing for a political showdown. It's no wonder she's earned the nickname Super Mayor, albeit not in a flattering way. To many, it appears she's positioning herself as untouchable, daring anyone to challenge her authority. With every move she makes, her focus seems increasingly on maintaining power, even as calls for her removal grow louder. This defiance, combined with her extravagant spending and controversial appointments, deepens the community's distrust and disillusionment. The tensions surrounding Henyard's leadership raise broader questions about whether her challenges are isolated to Dolton or indicative of a systemic issue within Illinois politics. Her behavior, mismanagement of funds, lavish personal spending, and autocratic decision-making mirrors a troubling pattern observed in many political figures who treat public office like a personal domain. This pattern disproportionately affects smaller, predominantly black suburban towns, where leaders, initially celebrated as trailblazers, often find themselves enmeshed in the very corruption they sought to combat. Residents are conflicted. On one hand, there's a deep desire to support black leaders, recognizing the importance of representation in their communities. On the other, frustrations mount as these officials appear to mishandle their responsibilities. The tension intensifies with perceptions of a double standard. Critics argue that black politicians face harsher scrutiny, with every misstep magnified, leading to questions about whether Henyard and others are unfairly targeted or held to a higher standard than their white counterparts. Yet, many residents believe excusing poor leadership due to race isn't a solution. They want leaders who are not only representative, but also effective and ethical. The dilemma plays out not just in Dolton, but across other suburban towns in Illinois, where black leaders have been elected, only to face intense scrutiny and scandal. This pattern speaks to a broader national conversation about race, governance, and accountability, posing the challenge of supporting black leaders without overlooking potential corruption. Henyard's case is particularly noteworthy due to the sheer scope of the allegations against her, whether it's misappropriating public funds, lavish personal spending, or her combative stance with the Board of Trustees. It feels as if she is testing the limits of her power. For Dolton residents, this is a bitter pill to swallow. They voted for Henyard expecting change and integrity, but are now contending with a seemingly endless stream of controversies. The situation sparks debates about whether Dolton's issues are symptomatic of a broader problem in Illinois politics or a reflection of the unique challenges faced by smaller black-led towns. As frustrations grow, residents grapple with difficult questions. At what point does supporting these leaders come at too high a cost? Should the focus be on race, or should it be solely on performance and ethical governance? These questions are layered and complex, making Henyard a deeply polarizing figure. As the first woman to lead Dolton, she embodies the duality that reflects her community's tensions. To some, she is a trailblazer, a symbol of progress who has broken barriers for women and people of color in local politics. Supporters see her as a beacon of hope in a system that has often marginalized such voices. Conversely, others view her as a cautionary tale, a prime example of how breaking barriers doesn't guarantee effective leadership. This dichotomy of perceptions makes it clear that Henyard has become a lightning rod for broader frustrations with the political landscape. She has inadvertently taken on the role of a figurehead representing a system that has failed many in her community, and now she is paying the price. As legal battles loom and investigations unfold, the public outcry against her mismanagement amplifies, revealing an undercurrent of discontent that has long been simmering. As Henyard's saga continues, the future of both her administration and Dolton itself hangs in the balance. The mounting pressures, from court orders to scrutiny over financial irregularities, signal a potential tipping point that could lead to either a dramatic fall from grace or an unexpected comeback. The unfolding drama is rife with potential twists and turns, leaving residents and officials alike to wonder what the next chapter will hold. Ultimately, Henyard's situation compels the community to confront uncomfortable questions about leadership, accountability, and representation. Is she a misunderstood leader striving to shake things up in a stagnant political environment, or is she truly as reckless and self-centered as her critics claim? Moreover, what does this saga reveal about local politics, especially in marginalized communities striving for both visibility and accountability? This narrative extends beyond Henyard's personal journey, reflecting larger societal concerns about government ethics and the expectations placed on those who assume positions of power. Residents of Dolton are left wrestling with these questions as they watch their town navigate a whirlwind of scandals and legal challenges. The sense of betrayal felt by those who supported her is palpable, and as the drama continues, it will undoubtedly influence future elections, community trust, and the overall political climate in the region. This is not merely a local story. It resonates on a broader scale, touching on issues of race, gender, and the expectations of leaders in modern politics. Whether Henyard is ultimately viewed as a symbol of progress or a failed leader will depend on how events unfold in the coming months and how the community responds. The stakes are high for both Henyard and the residents of Dolton, making this an exciting and crucial narrative to follow. As this political drama continues, the community must decide. Is Henyard a victim of circumstance, a reformer in a broken system, or a leader whose time has come and gone? The answers to these questions will shape not only her future, but the future of Dolton itself.